Notice how I work this board with flair? I did a little flick of my arm.
It is so smooth.
It is. It is. It's one of the few things in my life that I do with
It's like you're
flair,
ice skating across. It's like your fingers skate across the board.
I'm sadly the radio equivalent of Dorothy Hamill. I am joined not by James Rana or Susie Chapstick. What was her name in real life? I forget. There's a trivia question for you. She's like, my name is Susie something, but my friends call me Susie Chapstick because obviously I've got like a real problem. You know, it's so noticeable that I would have to have chapstick at all times.
No, it's not that she had a problem. This is how she avoids the problem.
She prevented the problem. Well, then she lived in fear.
She was in the cold air.
Oh, that's right.
She
You're
put her
absolutely
lips
right.
in harm's way.
We are not here to talk about television commercials of the 1970s.
I do the same thing.
We're going to be talking about a television show that I believe you were the responsible person who decided that
my gosh.
I should watch what?
Can you just say that again?
You were the responsible person.
That is so nice to hear. Because I'm always... No, okay,
You're
go
always
ahead.
thought of as irresponsible.
No.
What I meant to say,
kidding.
you were the person responsible. I'm sorry. You weren't a responsible person. You were the person responsible for foisting this television show upon me.
I'm such a foister.
You are. You were a big fan of the TV series Friends in the 90s. When did that show? Was it mid-90s?
I wasn't a big fan at first. I really rebelled. I mean, I resisted.
Right.
Because if everybody's watching it, sometimes that turns me off.
Exactly.
I don't know why. It just depends.
You don't want to be part of the crowd.
Well, maybe sometimes I do, but at that time, I just wasn't ready for it. But I did have a couple friends that watched Friends every week, must-see TV Thursday nights.
Well, what I remember about the show was that...
Wait, I'm not done.
I'm sorry.
So eventually, I started watching it because I was in the room with people that were watching it, whether I was there or not.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Well, what I remember about the show was
choice.
that it was Seinfeld was the big show on Thursday nights, and then Friends came along. And what I remember, the criticism of Friends was that it was sort of a feel-good version of Seinfeld. It was another show ostensibly about nothing.
Right.
But it just made you feel good inside, as opposed to Seinfeld, which maybe was just purely for laughs and was kind of depressing at times, you know. Mm-hmm. But Friends was a different story. Now, you watched the show, and I remember you were telling me about it all throughout the 90s. And I resisted, much like you resisted with your friends.
You did. You hung on to your...
Because I thought, if Rachel...
You stuck to your guns for a little bit longer.
I'm not going to run with the bulls of Pamplona like Rachel and her crew.
But if back then you were at my house and I had it on, you would have watched it.
Well, you never invited me over.
That's true.
See, that's why I never watched it. So anyway, you raved and raved about it, and about 5 years later, I went into a video store, and they were going out of business, and they had the VHS tapes of select episodes of Friends. I think it was like 8 on a VHS tape.
For like $3.99.
For like $3.99. And I bought 1, 2, 3. I bought 4 of them. The Best of Volume 1, the Best of Volume 2, and then more of the Best of Volume 1 and more of the Best of Volume 2. And I remember calling you and saying, hey, you know what? I like this show, and I tend not to like any television show after 1975. So... I was like, I kind of like it, but I'm not steeped in the lore of Friends like you are. So
I know we can't even talk trivia. You're just totally useless.
I'm totally useless. I know there's Monica.
Where's James?
I know he would know. He would know. I know
James.
there's a Monica. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. There's a Monica, and then there's
Monica is Courtney Cox.
Right. Then Jennifer Aniston's character was...
Rachel.
Right. That's the one I can't remember. And then the other girl who sang the folk singer...
Lisa Kudrow was Phoebe.
Phoebe. That's right. Now, the guys were... There was... Well, Joey right?
Tribbiani.
Matt LeBlanc, right? Dexter...
Ross.
Okay, yes, Ross.
Monica's brother.
Ross
and Monica Geller.
He reminded me of a young Dustin Hoffman. He reminded me of Dustin Hoffman in the Graduate era.
I can see that.
And I think he went on to make unsuccessful movies. And then the guy that I thought was Chandler, played by Matthew Perry.
Who has his own show right now called Go On.
Does he really?
Yeah, and it's cute. I mean, it's Matthew Perry. If you're a Matthew Perry fan, you're going to get Matthew Perry.
He does this sort
know
of
and love him.
laconic wit, and I remember seeing a movie he did called Fools.
I mean, could he be more witty?
That's true. Well, I don't know, but he made a movie called Fools.
Wait, you don't get that. See,
No.
you don't get my references.
I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's like kind of the way he structured his set. That became could I be more of this or could she be more of that? And people went around saying this.
So all these times,
could you look more confused?
all these years that I thought these were things that you had dreamt up
They
yourself.
were Rachel-isms?
They were all taken
Not
from
all
Friends.
of them, just that one.
Just a few. But what I remember, he made a movie called Fools Rush In.
Yes, with Salma Hayek. I love that movie.
With Salma Hayek, and there was that one. And then he did one with Elizabeth Hurley.
He's today's John Cusack.
What was the Elizabeth Hurley one? Anyway, we're not even talking about Friends. But anyway, so the gist of it, you had three people who didn't seem to work at all, living in great apartments. I guess they had jobs.
All worked.
Did they have
Yeah,
jobs?
They did. Rachel was in fashion, so she worked for Ralph Lauren a little while, and then she was going to go to Paris, and so she was always in the fashion. She worked at Bloomingdale's.
And they all hung out at the Bean Nut, whatever that was.
Central Perk.
Central Perks. That's right. Oh, was it Perk? Just
Perk.
Yeah, singular.
Yes.
Central Perk, and that's
Central
where Phoebe would do her open mic night stuff,
Right,
which
she
seemed to
would
happen
sing-
during the day, and
She
it was
would
all the
sing,
time.
Smelly cat, smelly cat.
See, I barely remember any of that.
And they made it into a jingle.
What I remember was that there was a big romance between Ross and Rachel,
Oh, there
right?
sure
there was a big
was.
it went
It was
on
tumultuous.
and on. I didn't, first of all, let me say this. I know Jennifer Aniston is still like this huge star. She makes all these movies, like Sandra Bullock makes all these movies, and they're all really popular, but I don't know any of them. And I never thought like she was this great raving beauty on the show. The whole world seemed to, but I thought that what's her name? Courtney Cox was
You
more
liked
attractive.
Monica.
Right, you're a little too skinny for me.
And
but-
she has a show now, too.
and she married a goofy guy.
I
She-
really like her show, Cougar Town, actually. I think
didn't
it's
see it.
funny.
But this romance, it went on and on. Did they eventually get married or something? Wasn't there a wedding episode, like a big wedding episode?
There's a wedding episode, but Ross was getting married to the English girl. And when it was time for him to say, I do take you, Emily, he said, I do take you, Rachel.
Oh, and did the audience
So then
gasp
Emily
like that?
left
Oh, okay,
him,
sure.
and Rachel and Ross got together later on, and eventually, and she got pregnant.
I see.
But they
Oh.
really weren't together.
What
at
happened
the
in the
time.
last episode of the show? I remember that it was a DVD that came out. It was black and it said "Friends: The Season Finale." I never saw the last episode.
Oh my goodness, you're killing
Some
me.
fan you are.
Well, I mean, I would need time to think about it.
You'd think that I would know more about this show, considering I had 4 VHS tapes that had
You know
8
what?
episodes
How about
apiece.
this? How about this?
What's that?
When you get a chance, at
Yeah.
your leisure,
Mm-hmm.
you'll go through those tapes, and then we'll have a part deux.
A part deux of this discussion?
Yes, yes.
We
and we'll
spent
be able
most of
to
it
talk.
talking about ourselves, actually. but
Right. Well, leave it to us.
That's 32 episodes I have to watch now. I
That's
watched
why we
them
need
before.
James to keep us on track. We should make it a
Exactly.
threesome.
I know. We need the trivia man, because I have no
Yes.
trivia and you have no trivia, really.
Well, you're going to brush up on a few of those episodes. Then we'll come back and we'll speak about specific episodes.
Like I have time to do that.
That's all you have time for. That should be your priority. Sitcoms.
Bye.
Bye.